Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today is scenario by Donavon Johnson, following up with the rest of his scenario line. Now he's a naval architect, which means he gets to send in a scenario a month, and if the patrons vote for his scenario, then his scenario will get turned into a video. To either get voting rights or become a naval architect yourself, check the description down below and make sure that you support the Patreon program or support me through the Patreon program there. The story for this one. With the overwhelming victory over the UK, Stalin's fleet makes repairs and continues to sail to its next target, France. Stalin quickly moves his next target in fear the US is on the move. Impressed by his new battleship, Stalin has ordered 2 more to join the fleet. Now, initially I designed a battleship in the previous iteration of this video, but I like designing ships, so I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to do it with a new design. The situation is that the fleets are pretty evenly matched. The French have 2 light cruisers more, but no heavy cruisers, whereas I do have a heavy cruiser. I'd actually rather have this setup than that one, because the heavy cruiser could be a very useful asset in killing the light cruisers. I'll personally be designing the battleship, and in order to win versus the enemy, I need to score at least 80 points. And points can be had by killing battleships at 20 points each, battle cruisers 10 points, light cruisers 5, and a destroyer a mere 2. So that means that the battleships and the battle cruisers have to go and the light cruisers and destroyers can survive. Considering what I saw yesterday, with a couple of ships that were capable of outrunning my battle cruiser, I'm going to go with a pretty quick battleship on this one, to make sure I can keep up, close the distance, and eliminate the enemy. We have access to the modern battleship. It is not as large as some of the other battleships, but it can do. It will do. And let's say we're going to go for 32 knots. It's a bit faster than what I had yesterday, and thereby hopefully not going to allow the enemy to outrun me, as they did. Because it just makes for a boring fight. Let's go with a decent amount of barbette armor. Some torpedo protection would be appreciated. Reinforced bulkheads, anti-flood 2, and citadel. Let's go for all or nothing. I want super heavy shells. I want those things to hit hard. Increased complement. Don't want to run out. High TNT. Improved reloading. Enhanced or advanced hydraulics. The reason why I don't generally go for more than this is because I've found that it's not really a problem. At least with a battleship, you're not turning around all the time. And that means that you don't really need electrical turrets or even electro-hydraulical turrets. And these things do slightly increase your flash fire chance. And also make the ship heavier in general. If I select this, I immediately get another 800 tons. And that is just the hull weight. The gun, secondary, and casemate guns also increase in weight. Whereas this is a 7.5%. Oh, sorry, this thing I should be looking at. This is 7.5%. This is 8.5%. No, actually they're lighter, interestingly. But they do still have that higher flash fire chance. So we're going to go with advanced hydraulic. Rangefinder, excellent, and radar, excellent. I'm not sure how much this scenario is going to impact the next one. But I'm going to assume that the more ships I keep alive, the better it will be. So that's my objective. Make sure as many of my ships survive. I'm going to go with a pretty standard battleship design for this one. I'm going to have a couple of large guns. And ideally maybe have another one of those, let's say, secondary, smaller-ish guns overlooking it. And thereby allowing to engage smaller targets more efficiently. And making sure that those things don't pose a threat or have to get engaged by the bigger guns. And the design that I worked with yesterday actually worked out really, really well. Those were, I think, 15-inch duels. Let's go for 16-inch duels, considering I'm not facing battle cruisers, but I'm also facing battleships. The 18-inch guns, while appealing, are very heavy. And they probably, they don't quite fit on that turret. Or on that barbette. Whereas I think the 16s might. Yeah, mostly. The thing is, this secondary barbette is going to cause all sorts of issues. So we're going to remove that. Put that on there. Here and here. If I can move this... No, I can't. That means that whatever sits on that secondary turret is going to have to be... Or on that barbette is going to have to be really tall. Like that. This way I have 8 16-inch guns. I can fire a shell every 43 seconds, and that's rounded up from 42.9. I have excellent accuracy, especially when combined with the radar and the rangefinder. Secondary armament will be required to deal with some of the destroyers and the light cruisers. Although I'm probably going to hand off some of that work to the battle cruisers that I have assisting. But since I don't personally design those, I'm always a bit hesitant to give them too much control over that. And by that I mean, I don't know what kind of a cruiser I'm going to get. What sort of ship is going to assist me. So it's not really something that I can bank on too much. And therefore I'm going to give these ships a couple of, let's go with 7-inch because I generally don't use those. 7-inch dual barrel guns. And a couple here and a couple there. We do have the short barbettes for secondaries. So I could also go with a couple of maybe 4-inch guns. Just like this. I hope that they're willing to turn. Because I've had some issues rotating these things in the past. Mostly annoying. I suppose this is a pretty decent ship. Forward firing, 8-inch gun. I would love to have one on the stern, but as you can see, I cannot put that secondary barbette there. The ship is simply not big enough. If I go for a smaller secondary tower, I might be able to make it work. But that does come at the expense of some base accuracy. And also aiming speed, and of course some of the other stats. So I'm going to go with a modern secondary tower too. This still gives me 6,000 tons to work with. Optimal engagement range for these guns, I'd say, is around 15 to 10,000 meters. And that means that I'm going to be looking at a pretty decent amount of penetration. Armor would have to suffice, provided that they're using 16-inch guns as well, to an equal of 33 inches. Now, armor angling does work, and it helps quite a bit. So I'm going to go with an increased belt. Let's say 14-inch belt and 10-inch belt extended. I want more on the turrets, because I've seen these things pop off. And it generally doesn't lead to prettier ships. It leads to all sorts of mayhem. Let's go for 10-inch on the secondaries, because these will be important weapon systems to deal with smaller ships. Really? There's no room? Huh. Oh, but there is room over there. That looks pretty good. Surprisingly, actually, that they cannot fire that far forward. Why would that be? Huh. Can I mount any 3-inch guns anywhere useful? No. 2-inch? Yeah, somewhat. But then again, 2-inch guns... I've made this point time and time again. If the enemy gets to within 2-inch gun range, which means 6.2 kilometers, then basically everything else has failed. The bigger secondaries have failed, the escorting ships have failed, all sorts of stuff has gone wrong. So that's not something that I want to have happen, but it's something that might happen. Now, let's go for more bulkheads. Maximum giving me 500 tons. I can speed it up slightly more to 32.5. There we go. And I think we have most of the ship pretty well armored. Deck armor is always a problem. Let's give the conning tower another boost. Turrets. Take it off of the conning tower. 3 tons. There. 9.9 inches on the secondaries. Slight forward weight offset. Aft. No, okay, we'll just have to run with it. In which case, I'd take the 0.4. Okay, this is the Smolensk. The Smolensk is capable of doing 32.5 knots. I think it's one of the more recent / decent designs that I've come up with. And hopefully it's going to prove effective against the enemy fleet. Once again, the lineup. 3 battleships versus 3 battleships, 2 versus 2, 1 versus none, 2 versus 4, and 5 versus 5. So we're pretty even. Now let's have a look at what sort of ships I got. The AI created the battle cruisers Krasnodar and Ryazan for me. 15-inch guns, triples, only on the bow? That's curious. It means that the ship is probably very bow heavy. And that's going to come at a very great expense to the accuracy on these things. Survivability, not good. These are glass cannons that are probably best used at range. Okay. Then we have the Slavarossi, our only heavy cruiser. Good survivability, or at least decent enough. We have torpedo launchers, which the AI actually very neatly put onto one of those protruding circles. And 9-inch guns, which fire Cordite 1. She's not fast. It's a slow heavy cruiser at a mere 23 knots. I didn't even check my own engine efficiency, by the way. Light cruisers Gaidamak and Lieutenant Darimov. Standard complement of bulkheads, 24.5 knots. Why are these Russian ships slow like this? Lots of guns here, though. That main gun just very, very closely fits on the stern there. 2-inch... Holy be Jesus. I want all the secondary 2-inch guns on this one. Jesus. How many? Normally I have this... Here, shoot info. 60 2-inch guns, and then the other 4. Holy shit. Now, it might look impressive, but in effect, I don't think they're going to be very useful, because the problem lies in their inability to close the distance at 24.5 knots. Destroyer. Firunisi. That one's fast. 35 knots. Actually, its turning circle is worse. Worse than that of the light cruiser. Alright. 5-inch guns, ABX, turrets. Whoa, that's a lot of torps. 24-inch torpedoes at a range of 10.4, so these are suicide boats. Oh. These are suicide boats that are really not going to make it to their target. That's problematic. Right. The enemy's been spotted to the north, and something to the north at a range, whoops, of 32.9 kilometers has already spotted me. Alright, I want the battle cruisers Krasnodar and Ryazan out of my division. We're going to have the battleships turn. Oh, shit. Wait, one. Because now they are not following the Smolensk anymore. I need you to follow the Smolensk. And I need you to join that div, I think. Because I don't want to have these guys just suddenly start following the Osliabia. Osliabia? Something like that, anyway. Ryazan and Krasnodar. I want these things lined up in a formation abreast. Because they're forward-firing battle cruisers. And that could be an interesting setup for them. We're going to turn these things to port. Turning circle 710, turning circle 851. Not great. Destroyers. No nonsense about screening and such. I want you on that division as well. The Slavarossi, I want you... Wow. I was going to say I want you following the battleships, but you're too slow. Let's just have the heavy cruiser and the light cruisers in one div. And see if they can make it to the, well, the front line, if you will, in a timely manner. We'll just have to wait and see about that. The enemy is already firing at me. Which is interesting, actually, because it means that they have better range finding than I do. They can spot me, and they can shoot me, which means that they have better than 0.1% accuracy. It's also potentially a destroyer that's closer that is spotting me. So we're going to send out our own destroyers and have a look. Now, before we go deeper into the battle, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out. Maybe you think that you're subscribed because you keep seeing my videos, but you're not subscribed yet. Please hit the subscribe button. Again, it really helps me out. Now, do we have any radar returns? Oh, we have shells coming in. 31-3. Let's see, can we count shells here? That's triple. 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 No. That's 2 triples. Triple. 2 triples. Okay, so they're using triple turrets. You can see that much. They're firing high explosive. Which means that they're probably trying to hit a destroyer. Yeah. They're trying to hit the Mikhail, I think. Because it was one of the first ships that they spotted. Surprisingly, they have not yet spotted the battleships. But now it is the Smolensk that spots them. At their range of 30 kilometers. Alright, what do you have here? You have a battleship with triple turrets, 15-inch guns, and it looks like a modernized Dreadnought. And over here... yeah, you're just a similar form. Similar ship. Okay then. This thing comes with those French quadruple 4-inch turret, or quadruple secondary turrets. I think to a maximum of 4-inch. And I want Smolensk and accompanying battleships to open up broadside, so that we have a better chance. Krasnodar and... wait, who's leading this thing? Oh, you are. Right. What's your distance? Because we can't really have you come too close. Ryazan is speeding, and therefore the Krasnodar cannot catch up. Just turn that way. Just do it at a measly 21 knots. We're not in range yet, but I don't feel like I have to be. Not with the battle cruisers, not yet. Because if we can just thin the herd a little bit with the battleships, that'd be wonderful. The thing is, the destroyers are, well, not great, putting it mildly. So I can supposedly use them as spotters, but that's probably the extent of it. And here's the Slavarossi line. You know what, we're just going to slow the battleships down as well. I don't have to do full speed here. And it might actually help me as well. Because if I slow down a little bit, it gives me better dodging capabilities against torpedoes. Wait, are we dialed in on a destroyer? What are we shooting exactly? Target this one, please. The battle cruisers, similar. Target that one. Krasnodar took a scratch, otherwise okay. Oh, Ryazan is under attack. And somebody has hit my destroyer. Oof, that was one destroyer hit. 7-inch. The ship's almost completely drowned. Jesus. Okay. And they're firing torpedoes at me, which I can detect at a range of about 2 kilometers. You must have sonar 3. Yeah. That makes them probably pretty standard torps. Not anything particularly interesting. But there are a lot of them, which means that I might have to manually control the battleships to avoid that threat. Is that one of your torpedoes that's coming this way? Yes. Torpedo, torpedo, torpedo. This is their light cruiser? That doesn't look light at all. That looks like we're going to take as many guns as we can and put that on this ship. Loads of 7-inch guns. and a ton of 3-inch guns. Interestingly, she doesn't seem to be particularly quick. I want to switch the battleships over to target that guy. Because if I can take it out, then the destroyers might have an easier time of it. That was a hit from the heavy cruiser, from the Slavarossi. You don't have to hit light cruisers very hard in order to inflict massive damage on them. You guys are getting a bit too close here. What's your range finding like? Radar 1, stereo 3. Switch fire, target the light cruiser. That was a great hit. 16-inch, bow deck overextended. Or extended overpen. Are they quickly flooding or fighting it? Jesus, these are half a submarine at this point. Also, there are torpedoes that I need to have a look at. Yeah, those torpedoes exactly. I have 2 flash fires on this ship. Fuck's sake. Yep. I completely forgot about the torps. I was getting too excited managing the rest of my fleet and I thought, we can manage it. No sir, we cannot. We just lost a turret on the torpedo. Fortunately, the ship is still here, but not by much. And battlecruiser Ryazan also just took a hit. What? Now you're hitting light cruisers as well? Jesus. I'm sorry, I really should have avoided those torps. This looks very, very amateurish. Dadimov sinks. Shit. Considering that this is a chain of scenarios, I'm probably going to very much regret this. I'm going to detach the Pobeda and have her retreat. I know that she can still fight, but if this ship is going to come in again in a future scenario, I want to make sure that I still have a ship in a future scenario. Your torps can do 15 kilometers. There's the Targa again. Throwback from another video. Shit. Krasnodar detects torps. Oh dear. Krasnodar should be fine. So should the Ryazan. Oh, there's more though. Wait, one. You powered by diesels or something else? Yeah, you got diesels. Okay, there goes the La Motte Piquet. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm so fucked here. Anti-torp. 3. Ooh. Doesn't look as bad structurally damaged, but the flooding... The flooding is something I don't appreciate. We need to start inflicting some damage against their bigger hitters. You're still trying to gain some speed. This is not looking like anything that I would want from this fleet. See, the Krasnodar. Look at that damage. Look at that flooding. 1 torpedo hit. I can pull that battlecruiser off the line. Leaving the enemy with 3 battleships and 2 battle cruisers. And me with effectively 2 battleships and 1 battlecruiser. So I'm outgunned. These things do not have a lot of torpedoes. Fortunately, few bulkheads. At any point, I have sunk 1 light cruiser, giving me 5 points out of the intended 80. Alright, since you're no longer operating in a group, we can just have you go full speed. Hopefully making you harder to hit because of that. Looks like they got all... Are those stationary? Near enough. Pretty much stationary. We have done one whole deck pen against their battleship. Basically nothing. It was a 15-inch, so it was not one from the battleships. Oh, no. No, 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 no. I thought I was being clever, trying to have the battle cruisers flank. Well, no. Because the battle cruisers are kind of out of this fight at this point. So now I have 2 battleships, which are going to have to really pull a lot of weight in order to actually get any kind of work done in this fight. That cruiser Cassar. Who's firing at the Cassar? Oh, the Slavarossi. Oh, that's the second guy. So what happened to you exactly? Because you died really quickly. The one moment you were full health and the next moment you were not. Oh, 16-inch shell. The Osliabia managed to sink that thing. Yeah, 2 good hits. Couple of hits from the 9-inch, but I think that didn't really contribute that much. So that's 2 out of their 4 light cruisers out of commission. Their battleships are the Recoin, Patrie, and Couronne. Maximum bulkheads. Huh. Not a fan. Turning circle 758. Hydro 3. Anti-flood 3. Anti-torp 5. Great. That means that trying to rush these guys with torpedoes is... not really going to work, I'm afraid. This is going to turn into a tough fight. And all because I managed to really mess up with not detecting torpedoes. Wait. I thought one of you guys got flooded to high hell and back. Yeah, that was the Mikhail. Okay, so you're fine. Mid-deck pen on the Krasnodar. Come on, survive. Targa sinks to extensive fire. 16-inch gun from the Oslibia. Really? Okay, that's 3 light cruisers out of commission. That is fantastic news for my destroyer group. Because the destroyers are now a bit safer in trying to rush in. Ooh. That destroyer just took a big chunk of damage from a 9-inch. And another one. That's what you get for getting a bug and being stuck. Or at least pretty much stuck. We're going to call that revenge for doing some damage with your torpedo tubes. Provided that it was actually that ship that did that. The Oslea is having all sorts of troubles trying to speed up. No. Split. That's... a destroyer dead? Yeah. Okay, so that's 1 destroyer out of commission. We're looking at 17 points so far. I'm not seeing any more torpedo warnings. But doesn't mean that there aren't any torpedoes around. Just means that they haven't been detected yet. I think we have another destroyer over here that's kind of stuck. I already emailed the devs about this, and they've replied that they know about... Ooh. They know about this. I'd say this has some of the highest priority to get fixed. Because it really messes with the way that the ships handle. Or not handle. It's frustrating to have your ships just do nothing for extended periods of time because they're stuck in some sort of formation loop. Like those destroyers, I'm not even sure what sort of speed they should be doing, but I can probably tell you it should be more than 12 knots or something in that area. Raining on the Recoin. Chance to pen? Oh, not bad. Not bad. Now, the challenge is, do I take this guy down with my guns? Yes. It has 5-inch guns, I think. Singular. So let's have the destroyers rush in. And take out that guy. Don't torp. We won't need that. Now, yes, she'll return fire. There we go. The Acté. The Acté can do 35 knots. Very similar to the Grozny. The thing is that the Acté is doing 13 knots. So she is not going anywhere near her required speed. There we go. The Oslia is now capable of doing her 23 because she too is being held back by the division. Slava and Gaidamak. Ah, another light cruiser has shown up. That's their 4th. The Sfax. The Sfax has launched torpedoes in the direction of the destroyers. We're going to turn and avoid. She's also throwing out a lot of 7-inch shells, so it's time to smoke up. I'm not yet planning to do a rush on the battleships anyway. So I can just use that smoke screen now, let it recharge, and wait for the next smoke screen to be ready. Smolensk still has 782 shells. You're currently engaging the battleship. You've inflicted some damage on her. I think engaging the Sfax at this range is not really worth it yet. Because I probably won't hit her. Some 5-inch fire hitting the Acté. Fuck's sake. There goes the Captain Kern. Those are the torpedoes that the light cruiser launched. Grozny also took a torp, didn't you? No, you didn't. You just got... You got flooded because you got hit 3 times. Seriously? More torpedoes in the water. Now, I've seen that these things are both capable of getting hit by a torpedo or a shell. Well, not so much a torpedo, maybe more a shell. And surviving. But torpedoes they kind of struggle with because the flooding just goes way too fast. So yeah, there we go. Grozny is... Grozny is full health when it comes to buoyancy anyway. Smolensk is gonna have to dodge some. Where's the Oslia? There. Engaging a destroyer at 22-kilometer range. Not worth your time. Once again, we are looking at the French fleet as they are running away. That is so frustrating. More torpedoes. How much ammo do they have? Not enough. They're out of ammo. Reduced ammo shells. Okay, that's on you. Finally, we have eyes on the battle cruiser as well. I completely forgot that they had those things. This is the Faucon. 8 17-inch guns. Back-to-back 8-inch turrets? Look at that. That's interesting. Does that turn? There is... I don't think that that's going to turn particularly well. It's a beautiful design, sure. Does it work? Probably not. I also like the secondary tower here. It's like this staircase of 8-inch guns. Or at least I think it's 8-inch. Yeah, 8-inch. So not a bad design by the French, but the question is, how survivable are you? Not very. both in bulkheads and in turning circle, you are, well, problematic. Problematic for me is their speed. At least on paper. Their theoretical speed is 37.5 knots. If they get up to that speed, I cannot catch them. Fortunately, they're only doing 23 knots. So for now, I might be able to get closer. Looks like that destroyer just took a couple of hits from a 5-inch gun on another destroyer. Smoke up again. How close are you to this fox? 19 clicks, it's still too far. 9-inch gun hitting the DD, very good. It's going to be the last we see of the Octay. Ow. Jesus, what was that? 17-inch? You can hit that from over there? 0.6. Jesus, yeah, they can hit that from over there, but that was more luck than anything else. I'm very eager for the battle, or for the heavy cruiser to take out the light cruiser there. Uh-oh. But I'm not sure if she's capable of doing that just yet. I have 19-kilometer range on the guns. Octay is surviving. That was a really brutal hit on the Mikhail. Let's have you just disengage. Also, I still need to take a screenshot of these boys. There we go. Right. Damage done, 9.1. Sorry, damage done 12. Damage taken 9.1. Where's the other battleship? Here. The Octay is taking a ton of damage. And she almost seems unfazed about it. Like, she just doesn't really seem to mind, unlike the Fidonisi, which, well, let's just say that we're going to see our Russian damage control parties at work again. Getting as much water outside of the ship as possible. Let's aggressively torp this guy. Then get out. DDs with minimum bulkheads are such a death trap. You just cannot rely on them. The only thing you're going to know for sure with those is that they die. And they die really, really quickly. And the only thing that these things are being held together by is their ability to pump water back out. Anti-flood 3, augmented with auxiliary engine 2. I think that's the only thing that's keeping that ship above water. Oh, by the way, I need to turf up another destroyer kill. And I'm looking at 21 points, which is still not anywhere near what I need. You have 10-kilometer range, yes? Yeah, we can try and torpedo the Lanquenet. That's their last two DDs, the Ancien Gabold and the Lanquenet. Okay. Pobeda is disengaging. Right. I set the Oscillator to hold fire because she's kind of getting removed more and more from the battle. Oh, the Couronne took a torpedo? From the DD? Really? From you? Huh. I guess we have torpedoes which are running long. That's excellent. Unfortunately, those battleships of theirs are very heavily protected. We're still trying to inflict damage on the battleship, but I don't feel like we're doing a lot. Oh, don't do that. Wait, one. Turn. What I'm doing is risky. I'm effectively pushing into a group of battleships and battlecruisers with one battleship. The reason why I'm doing that is because I feel pretty confident that my battleship can survive. At least before it's gonna... or without taking too much of a damaging hit from them. The battlecruisers are probably the most dangerous, damage output-wise. Just have to see how long this thing can stay above water. Focus your secondaries on the DD. And there's the Oslia. 19 kilometers out. 20. 18. 18.6. That's your target right there. 7-inch guns hitting the destroyer. Good. Smolensk is still at about 22, 24 knots, so pretty similar speed to the Slava. Oh, was that flooding on the battleship? Yes. Unfortunately, they don't generally care about that. And I'm also kind of making the mistake of getting a bit too close, because the French battleships are running out of ammo. And by doing that, they don't fire unless you get into range, at which they feel they're confident enough to open fire. So I'm going to have to slow down a touch and just stay out of the range. Here, the Requiem is firing again. At the heavy cruiser, of all things. But if the heavy cruiser can draw fire and allow the battleships to move in more, I'll take it. Let's have the Smolensk do a course correction, in case there are torpedoes coming in. Secondaries on the Ensemble. The destroyer. What? Oh, Jesus Christ. That was 1,000 damage on the Slava. Whoa. Battlecruiser's not taking shit from anybody. Switch target to the battlecruiser. We can deal with the battleship later. But those 17-inch guns are costing me quite a few ships at this point. And their survivability was not great. The other battlecruisers over there, the Tigre. And the Tigre is at a range of about 15, 16. This is the point where we start testing the secondary, or the armor on the Smolensk. Foucault takes a couple of hits. Starts flooding. Burning. Controls both, but the flooding on the stern is still happening. With a fire. That was a 16-inch overpen. Another just sheer amount of damage, but no flooding. That's what I'm looking for. Flooding. The long connect cannot torp, because the Sfax is in the way, and the Sfax is out of torpedoes. So effectively these guys should be changing position, swapping. As long as they're not doing it, I shouldn't probably face any torpedoes. Whoa. I thought I had the secondary guns pretty heavily armored. What did you blow up? A 7-inch on the bow. How rude. How rude. This guy's a threat. But I feel like I should be taking out the battlecruiser first, this guy over here, before swapping targets. Because then I have a few 17-inch guns less to worry about. And otherwise I have two damaged ships, both with effective and active 17-inch guns. Which I do not want. Okay, increase the flank. The Smolensk is going to have to rush in, because the Oslia is taking too much fire. Gaidamak. Best speed. Where are the destroyers? Do I have any left? Effectively, no. Effective fighting force is 2 battleships and a light cruiser. Against everything that you see over here. Yikes. At least the Faucon is going to take probably a few more flooding hits and go down. Can you pan me at this angle? Somewhat. Can you? Also somewhat. More flooding. Buoyancy's dropping. Very good, guys. Very good. Keep rushing. Keep pushing on the French. Also, can somebody take down this DD? So that it doesn't accidentally or intentionally start torpedoing my fleet? That'd be lovely. Come on. There, another flooding hit on the Faucon. She keeps fighting. I think the DD is dead in the water. 0.5 knots. More flooding. 10% buoyancy. Dropping quickly. There we go. That's a battle cruiser. That's 10 points. Excellent. Next target. The Sfax. Just because we can. Smolensk is still trying to rush in, increasing speed to 31 knots. New target, the Battleship, which I now have a 39% chance to hit. Requiem is still firing at 66 shells left. The Patrie at 117 and the Couronne at 120. Secondaries are still trying to finish off the heavily damaged ensemble. Unsuccessfully up to this point. Flooding. This thing is taking way too much damage. Yeah, we're just being barraged by the 17s and the 15s. The problem is, if I turn around, I give them way more chance to damage me. There goes the DD. Okay, that's 4 out of their 5 DDs dead. Next target. Already being selected by the 8-inch and the 7s. Very good. I hope that the Oslia is going to keep firing for as long as possible. Oh, destroyed the funnel. Flooding on the ship. Switch fire. That thing is in the smoke screen. Smolensk. Come on. These battleships are tough. These French things. The only reason why I would be able to sink them is... oh shit. Is because they run out of shells. Several torpedo hits on the Oslia, reducing her structural integrity to mere 6%. 12 shells, 51 shells, and 66 shells. And their battlecruiser? Ooh, the Tigre is rushing in. That's a nasty surprise. Switch fire to the Tigre. The Oslia is dead. Shit. Where's my light cruiser? Gaidamak. Kill off the Tigre and be quick about it. Because I don't think that the battleships are going to be a threat anymore. The Requiem is out of firepower. The Patrie will be soon. And the Couronne is pretty even. Tigre is flooding. Serious flooding on the Smolensk as well. Give the 8-inch attention to the Sfax. Well, all the secondaries for that matter. This is the point where I said, if something holy shit! If something gets to within 5-kilometer range, something has gone horribly wrong. Well, we've reached that stage. Oh dear, this is why you do not go broadside. I think the Smolensk can take it. But only because the French ships are out of firepower. Because they're only out of ammo. Oh, that's not good. We're really getting punished. And we're missing the Tigre? How? Patrie is out of ammo. Courant is out of ammo. Thank God. The French are putting up one hell of a fight today. Fires aboard the Tigre. Come on, Smolensk. I need flooding on that thing. That's the quickest way to kill it. Can you pen me? Yes, 25% chance. And she still has so many shells that I cannot turn broadside to go to give her the attention of the stern batteries. It's not worth it. Not possible. Light cruiser? Smoke up there, buddy. Before we don't have a ship anymore. Oh. This fox had a violent death. Main gun destroyed, flash fire. Okay. So that's their light cruiser gone. That is a total of 20 points scored. And then we still need one destroyer to tally those. Ah, the Tigre was flooded. A bit. Come on. This is turning into a tough fight. There we go. Flooding. Slow your French ass down. Somewhat. They got the flooding back under control. Come on. More flooding then. Your chance to pen? Still 20%-ish. More flooding. Yes. Drown the baguette. That'd be a funny thing to put in the comment section this time if you made it to 52 minutes and 24 seconds. Drown the baguette. That's going to be the magic marker that let me know that you watched this far into the video. You know, sometimes I record these videos a while in advance, like a week or so. That's, I think, the longest that I've done one of these. And at some point, I forgot that I gave one of these, let's call them secret quests. And people started commenting all sorts of weird stuff. And I was like, what the hell? What sort of spam is this? And then I remembered, like, oh, no, right, I told people to do that. Bit of a senior moment. Oh shit, there goes the Gaidamak. Where are you going? These 8-inch guns are getting annoying. Come on, Smolensk. More flooding. Yes. Stern seems properly flooded. Bow compartment, not at all. Middle of the ship, somewhat. More flooding. That could be the end of her. But the 8-inch gun damage, it's starting to add up on the Smolensk. You dead? No, you're not dead. Kill it right now. Right now. Because I'm already starting my turn back to the other side. Finish her! 32% structural remaining. Torpedoes inbound. Tigre sinks. Torpedo impacts. Oh, not good. Both the battle cruisers are down. That's another 20 points gained. I still need the one destroyer dead. My speed is reduced to 9 knots. Which means that these battleships are slowly but steadily gonna run out of range. That sucks. Switch to high explosive shells. Because the ricochet angle here is too great. Come on, kill the Lonkinet. There really is not very much left of the Smolensk. Superstructure's completely gone. I lost 1, 2 secondaries on the starboard side. 1 on the port side. Potentially a second one on the port side. Look at those. Wow. Can you actually see the ship through there? This hole here. The 8-inch gun is out of ammo. This thing has seen better days. Pen chance? 50. I'll take it. Main guns in the Courant. And please kill that destroyer. I think I'm going to run out of ammo before I get all these Frenchies killed off. I just don't have the ammo to deal with all of the battleships, considering their serious resilience to flooding. My accuracy is not exactly what it should have been. Ceasefire on the mains. Although, actually... swing the guns over to port. Blow that destroyer out of the water. What? That almost sounded like a torpedo impact. %. Come on. Thank you. Ceasefire. 25% structural remaining. What's my best bet here? 52. Average ricochet. 32 ricochet. 30 ricochet. 52.9. 53. 53. I'll take the Courant. Armor piercing only. Guns back to front. Missed. Oh, those are free spinning turrets on the stern. Unintentional design, but it's nice. Holy. These guys are out of almost everything. The 15s are out, the 5s, the 4s. They still have plenty of 3-inch ammo. And they still have a lot of 8-inch left from the casemates. But, damn. The French are putting up a good fight here. Flooding on the Courant. Looks like an engineering compartment. Missed. Oh shit, you're turning, aren't you? Yeah, you are. The Courant is turning, and because she's turning, the ricochet chance suddenly went sky high. I don't have the ammo to spare. Switch to the Requiem. Flooding. We're going to open up a bit more, allow all the guns to fire. Destroyed secondary guns, started a fire. There we are. Flash fire on the Requiem. Flash fire's contained though, it didn't blow off the second turret. I was hoping for a chain reaction there. Another fire. Structural integrity, 0.2. There's the second flash fire. Structural at 0.2? Give me a break. Destroyed a secondary gun. Great. Thank you. That took me long enough. That's one of their battleships out of commission. Now, considering that I took out everything else, I already have 10 10, 30, 50, 70 points at this stage. But being a bit of a completionist, I want to take out all of these ships. And I think we can. Because with the quick demise of the Requiem, we can now use a bit more ammo on these other ships. And maybe we can trigger another flash fire. They only have the 8-inch guns left that can really hurt me. The rest of them are just, well, they're pecking away at my battleship, but 3-inch hits do 4 points of damage. Which means I really don't notice it that much. So, the Smolensk can take it. There we go. Massive structural damage to the Couronne. She's starting to flood. This thing is getting wrecked. 22%. Buoyancy is neutral. They're no longer flooding. Now they are. Now they are again. What's my pen chance at this point? Oh, Couronne gets a flash fire. 90 points. The mission of the Russian fleet is now complete. I have scored more than 80 points. Scored 90. But I want to get all of them. Alright, Patrie, you've seen how it happened, or what happened to the Couronne and the Requiem. And the Smolensk is out for more blood. By the way, the Smolensk, one of my 3 battleships, and one of about, what did I have, 10 ships or so, did about half the damage of the entire fleet. That is a classic example of the 80-20 rule. 80% of the work is done by 20% of the people. The majority of the damage is done by just one ship. Now, the Smolensk is definitely going to need a lot of repairs. I think at this point we can just, well, completely replace the superstructure. We're going to need a lot more secondary guns. I think we need a few more engines, provided our own might not be able to be repaired. And she's not really responding to her rudder that well. She still has all of her turrets, which is more than some other ships can say. Hey, Pabita? Pabita losing her X turret there. And that was just stupid because I managed to sail the ships right into torpedoes. And no, I don't do that just to make the video more interesting. That was just a complete fuck up. Come on. Can we motivate you to get a flash fire or something? What are you firing? White powder. It's not terribly deadly. We are down to 92 shells at this point. 22% buoyancy, no more flooding. There's the flooding. And even at a 5-kilometer range, my chance to pen is still only about half. 10.5 inches of belt armor, plus 118%. That would explain it. We're now working on stagger fire with the Smolensk. .58 shells. I think the Patrie is about done. Let's have some fun. Switch to high explosive. We might be able to just punch right through, whoa, whatever's left of their armor, which is not much at this point. Oh shit, that was AP. There's the HE. Well, No, I cannot keep gambling with my ammo like this. Because if I do, then I might find that I don't have any 15 shells left to flood that thing completely. Structural to 2%, 1%. Done. All French battleships sunk. All French ships sunk. Mission completed. Smolensk. Pretty good design. Unfortunately, I did not pay close enough attention to any torpedo threats, and because of that, I got exactly what I deserved and ran headfirst, broadside on, into torpedoes, causing all sorts of damage to the ships, including one of the battleships which just had to pull back because it lost a turret. Could have been worse, I could have lost the ship entirely. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Don't forget to subscribe to watch another one very soon, and I'll see you guys in a few days for Taskmaster Tuesday for this game. And of course, starting this week as well, Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. See you soon.